Welcome to Main Street Minds with your host, Amish Munshi. This is where industry leaders and seasoned pros share their secrets to success beyond limits. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to Main Street Minds. Today I have a very special guest, Alexis, with us. I'm very excited to meet Alexis and get and share his experience with all of you. Alexis dominates the market in Central California. He loves working on residential as well as commercial, and some of the things that we love the most is working on numbers and making deals happen. Right? We work very hard for our customers, and Alexis is the go-to person that I can recommend in Central California. So thank you, Alexis. It's been great knowing you. And w- without any further delay, let's go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Amish, for having me on. I'm very honored to be on here and, kind of explain my story and what I do. Um, I am a realtor out here in the Central Valley. I specialize in residential with an aspect of commercial in it. And I service all these local counties from Stanislaus, San Joaquin, Sacramento, parts of the Bay Area, and then down to Merced County. So all these local counties, like I said, I do focus in residential, but kind of am trying to make transition or making the transition to commercial, work on kind of the bigger deals, and yeah, just help my clients, make a lot of money and hopefully make money with them.
Yeah, perfect. So tell us more about how you got started and what got you interested in real estate.
Yeah, so I come from a blue collar background. So I was working blue collar before. So I was working at a mechanic shop. I was a mechanic. Well, we call them technicians, right? I was an
Yeah.
automotive technician, and then I was also working as a welder.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so I was basically I was an automotive technician during the week, or no, sorry, on the weekends, and then I was a welder during the weekday, Monday through Friday, right?
Nice.
So I was working about 7 days a week. I've done that pretty much since high school. I like to work. I like to be active. I like to keep learning and just becoming better at what I do. Ultimately, I found that blue collar just wasn't, it wasn't what I saw myself doing in the future. So I was looking at ways on how I can make money, maybe without my hands, but more like with how I speak. Because I like to say I'm a pretty confident person, and I think that I have a lot of room to grow. So I was looking at, where can I make money, right? So I was going to college, and what I was going to college for necessarily wasn't what I really wanted to do, right? And then I was looking at, different kind of jobs where I can make money during college that didn't involve me using my hands. That's when
Yeah.
I came into sales. So it was getting into sales, and then I chose real estate because I saw the longevity in real estate. A lot
Mhm.
of these sales jobs that I was looking at, I saw was a lot of turn and burn. You get a client, you help them, you sell them something, but then the relationship stops there. And what I
Yeah.
wanted for my life, for my career, was just having longevity, maybe helping somebody buy something or sell something, and then not just doing one transaction, but doing multiple and just
Hmm.
really helping them out. And I think it's great that I fell into real estate because I have those clients who I've sold multiple properties for to, and just the relationship is great. Seeing their portfolio grow, seeing kind of their family benefit from it, it's a great feeling.
Yeah,
That,
great.
that's my overall background.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how long were you in an auto technician and a welder? Like, was that similar time frames?
Yeah, so I was a technician for about 3 to 4 years, like 4 years, let's say four
Wow.
years. And then I was a welder for around two of those years. So
Okay.
2 of the years I was working full time as an auto tech.
Yeah.
And then 4 years, and then 2 of the years I was working full time as a welder, and then as an auto tech like on the weekends.
Cool.
But
So what,
I worked 7 days all for those 4 years. It was a nonstop.
yeah, and it's not easy, right? Like working 7 days
No.
take its toll. And what was the thing that helped you transition over? Like, what was that decision? What triggered it and said, okay, let's do it right now? Like a few years ago when you decided to switch over to real estate, what was the main purpose or what was the trigger point saying, hey, let's make the shift?
Yeah, so this is a great question, and I was actually talking about one of my partners about it. One of my lending partners that I've done a couple deals with in the past. He asked me the question as well, and originally it it was honestly really money motivated. Like I saw how much money you could make and the
Yep.
potential money you could make. And then as soon as I got in the industry, I noticed it was nothing like that. It was actually pretty much the opposite. You don't make money for a while unless you have like a lot of people or you're really hustling like in the early days, right? So a lot of it was like motivated for money, but as I stuck with it, it was more about like creating the relationships. Creating the relationships. I took really small deals as far as like purchase price or sales price. Not necessarily because I wanted to take it, but I saw the longevity in the relationship. For
Hmm.
example, I helped somebody buy, and right now I'm helping them sell a lot for like $200,000,
Yeah.
right? But this person owns other real estate and he owns other businesses. So
Yeah.
the focus is always been after I saw that it wasn't about, or I noticed it wasn't about the money, it's been about the relationships.
Yeah.
Creating a strong relationship with somebody, making sure they feel comfortable with me, making sure they know that I'm here for their best interest.
Yeah.
And I pretty much jumped into it full time as soon as I saw what the potential was of growing these relationships because
Yeah.
I started and for around 3 months I was still working full time as a mechanic and I was not seeing any progress, right? And I ultimately just quit my job and went full force.
Yeah, sweet. So I think business is always a slow growth, right? Like it's
Yeah,
not like you suddenly make a shift. Even if you invest $1 million doesn't mean even if you invest 1 million in marketing or sales doesn't mean you're going to start making having returns the next
yeah,
month.
yeah.
It takes time to like build those relationships and one relationship leads to the other. So that's a very, very important insight for everyone listening. Like
100%. It's all about the relationships. Don't even focus about the money. The money always comes when you're good to somebody. It always comes.
yeah, exactly. Money just follows later, right?
Money
Uh,
follows.
and like the other thing that I observe is somebody that buys their first home ends up buying sooner or later ends up buying a second investment property or converts their first purchase into an investment and then goes and like invests into syndications or like additional investments as things progress, right? So
100%. Yeah. And what you hear most people, because I've talked and helped clients that have worked with somebody else in the past. And something you'll hear a lot, right? I'm sure you're here even on the lending side is this person wanted to force me or they feel really pushy on making this deal happen when it didn't make sense for me.
yeah, that's when the
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, yeah. Like the numbers don't pencil out on the purchase, even on the loan because maybe the debt service or maybe it doesn't make sense for you. Like I think it's always important to be very, very honest because it always comes back, right? If somebody didn't like the investment and you help them buy it, ultimately they're gonna remember the person who helped them buy it and they're not gonna, put in a good word for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, and many times like I've had like so many of my customers, if I tell them not to do something, they work with me more on things that do make sense.
yeah, yeah. Even with selling properties, like I turned down a listing recently where this person was like, I want this number. And I gave him the comparables. I told them what it was going to sell for. And they were like, well, I want a higher price. I want this price. And I mean, the price that I was going to list it, I was like right here, right? So we were pretty off. And I told her, I was like, if you want this price, I think the market that we're in right now is not where we should be selling. I think we should wait it out a couple months, kind of see what the
Yeah,
market's like, kind of wait for more buyers to be, active, and then we can, talk about listing the property. And even the honest conversation, like that client sent me two leads, like two deals basically. Yeah, yeah. So it was just being honest and, not just not pushing for a deal that doesn't make sense.
makes sense. And I think just the being a consultant is a better position than being a salesperson. Sales just happens.
100%, yeah.
If you're solving a problem, they would be willing to share some
Yeah,
portion of that with for us to do the work.
yeah, yeah. No, 100%, man. I
Yeah,
agree.
so tell us, I know that was one of the interesting ones, but tell us a scenario that you experienced that was like really different, like something that was unique or something that like generally doesn't happen.
As far as like a purchase or sale?
Either one, like some experience within real estate that was like every transaction has something, right? Like there's no smooth transactions ever. Every transaction is unique. There is always something in every transaction that is very special. if you want to share any examples that was kind of saying enriching or like a very unique situation which you have not seen somewhere before.
Yeah, so I had a situation where I had a client. He's looking to, build his portfolio, right? And he was showing me, I mean, I learned from my clients a lot of the time, these investors, like especially if they're very seasoned, like they'll show you stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like the way they structure these deals,
yeah.
the way they just they structure even for taxes and stuff is it's crazy, right? So one of the craziest deals I had, I don't know the exact details on like on his tax situation, but this guy, he came to me. He had a pretty big tax bill. I was in communication with like a CPA, right?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not by any means a tax professional, so I don't know exactly how much he was saving, but I know he had a huge tax bill, right? And we had structured this deal, me and the CPA, to where he basically, that whole tax bill, he didn't pay it, right?
Oh,
He didn't pay it. Not, mind you, this is all legal. It's not, none of this is illegal.
yeah.
But the way we structured it, based off his experience, being an investor, and based off the CPA's guidance, and then also my guidance on the purchase, it was just really interesting. It was really interesting to see how different people think when structuring these deals. When there's something on the line.
Yeah, yeah. So I assume like you also have relationships with other vendors in case if some other investor, because many times as people are growing, they need references to different vendors. So they can reach out to you. Maybe some of them you may know a few people who might be the right fit, like the CPA, who is able to like create these innovative deals, and you can help clients with referring them to appropriate professionals that have done this before.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I work with great CPAs. The one I have right now is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I think it's very good to, network with different vendors, people who offer those kind of services. And, when I work with them, kind of seeing how they work. And if they work well, like I will always recommend somebody over 100%.
Yeah. Changing to the next topic, I wanted to know a little more about what trends you are seeing in the market right now, and what segments of real estate, like even within commercial, is it land, is it multifamily, is it retail? Like what is happening in the Central Valley?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing right now a lot on the residential market is I'm seeing a lot of inventory, not a whole lot of buyers. And just speaking from my experience, like I've helped in the past month or so. Um, I've had a couple properties under contract and close where, we're going in, 10, 15, $20,000 under asking, or
Mhm,
we're even making an offer maybe a little bit closer to asking, maybe like 10,000 under with like 15 back.
mhm,
And it's actually pretty common for me to do this in this market. Now, at the beginning of the year, it wasn't so common, right? Usually beginning of the year, it's a little bit more fast paced. And
mhm.
it's even weird right now that it's like this in this kind of market or in this time of the year, because usually, I mean, as you may know, like April, May, June, July, it's hot, right? So
Yeah,
for us to see this right now, it's a little bit interesting, right? But I think it comes down to, a lot of people being scared in the market, people thinking that the rates are going to drop, market's going to crash. Ultimately, it's been a great opportunity for those buyers who are very serious though. That's what
yeah,
I've seen. As far as commercial, multifamily, I'm seeing a lot of, I mean, not a lot, I don't want to say a lot, right? But I'm seeing a, a decent amount of vacancies and a lot of the, offers on the properties I'm making offers on, letter of intents I'm putting in for these properties. I'm seeing a decent amount of vacancies. Um, and it's not terrible, right? Because we know the market's it's gonna adjust at one point, right? Um,
yeah,
but nothing too crazy on the multifamily side. Land hasn't been, I mean, in general, land typically takes a longer time to sell in general. But I mean, I've had some projects where I've had some deals where I've helped someone buy, and then, they were motivated. Yeah, we're gonna buy this lot, or we bought this lot, we're gonna develop on it, right? A lot of them are a little bit on like maybe a step down, just kind of waiting to things adjust in the market till they can start construction, plans in place, but a lot of them don't want to deploy all the capital, or
mhm,
most of their capital into this new construction building, whether it's commercial, residential,
Yeah.
the market's a little bit, they're unsure of it, I guess I would say.
Yeah, just it's been a little soft, and it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
very surprising for me as well. Like right when we are having this definite direction that interest rates are going to be reducing, but people are still hoping and waiting for to see that. Uh, I think what people are thinking is it's just going to be a crash before the rates drop, uh, or uh, or the rates are not going to drop. I think I'm like seeing people in like two camps saying, "Hey, I'm going to wait it out. The pricing is going to improve, or the rates are just not going to go down. Everything is just perfectly fine in the economy."
The thing is, when rates drop, I mean, the competition just it skyrockets. So I mean, they're putting a lot more capital down, or
Yeah,
tying a lot more money now of the rates drop. Whereas
yeah.
right now, like we're in a good time to negotiate. Good time to negotiate. Sellers are really motivated. If your property's on the market, you want to sell it. You're not trying to just see what you can get for the property. Like, some sellers just want to see what they get, ridiculous price. And like, no, we're having really motivated sellers in the market, and we're having buyers who are kind of hesitant, but those who are making a move, like they're winning. They're definitely winning right now.
Yeah, yeah. I know a couple of my investors are like doing very unique strategies, and
Yeah.
the variety of ways in which we can invest in real estate. Uh, Most of my customers, like when they come and like they ask me like I'm just being the lender, right? And they love. Uh, and the common question I get asked is, what are the rates going to be, and what do you think in the future? And I'm like, what I only have my opinions. It's not going to change the world. Uh, but like the variety in which we can invest in real estate is crazy, right? Like I have like two different investors. They both invest in single family homes, but the way they invest is just completely unique.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone has their own investment style. There's definitely is not like a right one. A lot of people like to have the quick cash. They like to buy properties and flip them. A lot of people just park their money because they're already making active money from their active job, whatever that is. If they're self-employed or they work a W-2 job, they have really good active income where they have to just deploy it.
Mhm.
So everyone just has different investment style.
Yeah, yeah. So, and in the market, you're seeing across all the market segments like retail, commercial, multifamily, residential. You're seeing kind of the same things where higher inventory, better pricing, better ability to negotiate. Is it the same across all the verticals?
Yeah, I would say it's more on the residential side for negotiations. Um, I mean, from my experience, all these commercial guys, they're more firm on their numbers, right? Because a lot of the time when somebody owns, for example, if somebody owns a 10 unit and there's somebody who owns a single family home, a lot of the time this 10 unit guy has, he might be able to wait a little bit more time, right? He probably has money he can pull from other projects, he has capital he can, get. So a lot of the time they're more firm on the number. Where
Hmm.
somebody with a single family home, a lot of the time that's probably their biggest asset, right? So if that's your biggest asset, and they don't have a whole lot of money, they don't have a whole lot of ways they can get that capital. They're more likely to negotiate. Hey, I need to sell this because I don't have other 15 units like this other guy with the apartment building.
Yeah.
So mostly on the residential side, but I mean, still on the commercial side, just not as much, I would say.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you're seeing higher vacancy as well. Is that on the single family, or that's also on the multifamily?
Yeah, no, for single family, I'm seeing decent amount. For multifamily, I'm seeing higher vacancies though, especially for the properties I've made,
Yeah.
and offers on.
Yeah, I know. Like I've been in the industry for about 6 to 7 years, and I'm still trying to like make sense how some of these things actually uh, merge together. The prior years, we used to see a trend saying if the purchase and sales is going down, people are renting, right? If they are not buying, they're renting. And this time, I'm seeing something very unique where there is not enough transactions, people are not buying, but even higher vacancy at the same time in commercial. And the I don't think the ratio of units to the ratio of population is very different. But what is happening right now is something very unique, which I'm still trying to like wrap my head around. Like if there is lower interest in buying, there should be higher occupancy, but I'm seeing like lower interest in both. And I'm like, where are the people? Are they like just coming together, living as a family together? Hopefully, it's for a good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a little bit of a interesting time in the market, but I mean, it'll adjust, man. I
Yeah.
mean, we're heading in a slower time in the market, which I mean, for me, last year, actually, the busiest time for me last year was from November, or no, sorry, from September to
Mhm.
to December, which is usually like the slower time, right? A lot of people want to wait for the holidays. Well, slower time, I would say slower time in residential because commercial all year round, if you can get a good deal and a good investor, the deal pencils out, like it'll
Yeah.
be done, right? But for the residential side, which is what I was mostly focused on last year, actually had more deals when it was slower, right?
Hmm.
It was
Yeah.
slower. So, um,
It's been last 2 years have been very, very, very weird.
yeah, it's been quite weird, but I think it'll even out.
Yeah, exactly. The market dynamics and market forces are always larger than the personal sentiments. The dynamics always like kind of brings the market back in balance.
And the only regret that I hear almost all the time is I should have bought, then I should have bought this year then, which is it's weird because a lot of the time somebody says a lot of the time it's the emotions that get you, right? You're tired of tying up that much money, or you don't
Yeah,
want to get, you're scared of the debt you're gonna, take on for that property. But I mean, appreciation just shows these, especially in this area. I mean, I know the Bay Area is absolutely crazy, but
yeah,
especially like this area, like a property that was, a couple years ago, $350,000 is now, 450, 500. It's just it's insane. The amount of money that you could have made if you would have invested that money,
yeah.
like if it makes sense, and you can make the payment, like, get the property,
Yeah, yeah. And historically, like even if we go back to like the imperial era of like if we go back to the like hundreds of years, the kings and queens always used to be scared of the landlords, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
the people that own real estate are the ones that kind of it's not easy, it's very, very difficult, but the people that own the real estate are the ones that are controlling the assets and controlling a lot of things. I wouldn't say it's easy, it's not for everybody. Don't just go and like buy things that don't don't make sense. Just work with good professionals like Alexis to like understand what's the right thing to buy. And but if you're between two, if you're like right at the border and saying, hey, should I buy this or should I not buy this, just go with the gut, buy it.
Buy it. You can sell it. If it doesn't pencil out in a couple of years, sell the asset. You'll break even, or you'll make money on a little bit of money on your return. Your way, like it's better to not necessarily say take the risk, but it's better to take it on and have like a more likelihood chance of you making money on that.
Yeah,
Instead of just leaving that money in the bank, or
yeah.
putting it somewhere where you're getting a low return.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. The variety of options of generating the returns as real estate is just crazy. So yeah. So tell us a little bit more about you. Like, what are your hobbies? Are you still working 7 days? Do you have a? How do you manage work and life?
Yeah, I wish I could say no to the 7 days. Unfortunately, I think at the point where I'm at, it's mandatory for the 7 days. Honestly, like it doesn't really feel like work though. I mean, I just wake up and see what I got to do, and then I'm always thinking about like growth, right? So
Mhm.
something I take on every single day is obviously service my active clients that I actively have under contract, listings I have on the market, people who are actively looking for deals. This is the most important.
Mhm.
Second is actually doing the business, right? So whatever I need to do to actually make these deals happen. And then third is every day I'm seeing how can I get more business? How can I grow my business, right? So whatever that is, it's always like how can I grow? How can I, I'm never complacent on just making this deal happen or servicing these clients. I'm always like growth. How do I grow? How do I get to that next level? Because I mean, there's people doing it to a scale that are just it's unimaginable, right? So when you look at it from that perspective, you almost get a little bit humbled. You're like, oh shoot, like this guy's doing if I'm averaging 3 to 4 deals a month and this guy's averaging 10 to 15, like there's something he did early on that helped him get to that level.
Yeah.
For hobbies though, I like to be active, so I like to go to the gym. I like to hang out with friends. I try to I try to work maybe not 7 days a week, but a lot of the times it does come in 7 days. I like to shoot for probably like six, and then maybe like a couple hours on that seventh day. But definitely 5 days, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. And do you see yourself being more busy over the weekends versus the weekdays?
So I think it depends. I would definitely say during the weekdays is more busy.
Okay.
Um, during the weekends when I was 100% focused on residential, right? Which I'm not saying that I'm not servicing residential, but when I was the main focus, it was the weekends, right? Because you're
Yeah.
doing, I mean, the residential deals, a lot of open houses, a lot of prospecting,
Mhm.
a lot of like showing properties and stuff. Now that I'm trying to, slowly, hit that commercial market more, a lot of what I'm doing is during the week, right? As far as like talking to people, um, not a whole lot of showings in that, right? Because a lot of people will make blind offers on properties subject to viewing, stuff like that. So it's been really busy during the week, which I'm grateful that I have a little bit of free time during the weekend.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always great. Like, are you currently, do you have like a family with you right now, or
No, no, single guy. So I pretty much have the stars are my limit, pretty much.
yeah, so sweet. You have the whole world open.
I have the whole world ahead of me, man. So I'm very blessed to be in a position where I can put this much time
Yeah.
and really really make it worth it.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm seeing your success, and I really applaud you for all the hard work. It's not easy to make the transition. A lot of people think that they want to make the transition. It's not easy, and I applaud you for first of all making the transition
Yeah,
and actually executing and doing the right thing. So you're doing. It's amazing to see your success, and it, there has to be a lot of hard work that goes in to be successful. So I applaud you for that.
definitely has to be a lot of hard work, a lot of thinking forward. Like, what do you want you want to be selling real estate, but where do you see
Yeah.
yourself in 5, 10 years? Are you going to
Yeah.
be still doing this, showing these first time buyers, or you going to have your own company? Like, what's your ultimate goal? And I think at least seeing the general direction where you want to go, if you
Mhm.
can kind of see where you want to go, I think it's a lot easier to maybe take those because there's some tough days, right? Some tough days where a lot of deals fall through, just nothing pencils out. And I think having that direction, it really helps you get through those days because you kind of you see forward, and it's not just those transactions flow through. It's like those flow through. It's for a reason. I'm going to be here, in a certain amount of years.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we wrap up this episode, what's the best way somebody can reach you?
Yeah, so the absolute best way is probably by phone or by email, which I have everything in my bio for all platforms that I'm on. But and people can call me at my number. It's 209-486-1876. They can text me as well. And then my email is alexis at mosquedare.com. I reply really fast or pretty quick. Some days, right? I try to be quicker than others. But yeah, I mean that's the best way for someone to reach me. I do offer free consultations for investors, just people who are looking to get information in general, to see what the process is like if they want to build a portfolio or buy one property, kind of see how they can get here, the everything in the middle. So yeah, I mean it's the best way to get a hold of me.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thanks for coming over, spending your time on a very busy weekday, and sharing your insights of the market right now. So thanks a lot, Alexis, for doing this.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Main Street Minds. Want to share your journey with our audience? Head over to mainstreetmindspodcast.com/guest to apply.